Now we will start our topic of report. Okay, so we will create a small report. Okay, very beginning. Okay, so SC38, I will go into transaction called SC38, and here JID MB28 report 1 or hello world, the very first record I'm just going to very first report I'm going to. This report also you can tell as a program. Okay, so hello world, I'm going to create over here executable program. Click on the save button, local object, and then you can come over here, and for hello world report there is nothing to do, simply write over here and just write hello world. Okay, so if you have to display anything, in form of, like, if you have to display anything on the output screen, you can use the write statement. Okay, you can simply use the write statement over here. Check the syntax, activate this one. It got activated, press F8, and you can see the hello world got displayed. So you are successfully able to create your first report. It's a very easy, right? But now we are going to create the second report. Okay, ZMB28, the report 1. Click on this create, and here the report 1, and the type, maybe I can select some customer production program. Click on the save button. Okay, type from here, actually executable I have to select, save, local object, and come over here. Here, I have to sum two number. Okay, I have to sum two number. So suppose I want to, this is my requirement, add two numbers and display on the output screen. This is my requirement. So suppose that two number is 20 and 30, right? So this is the work of program or report, right? This is the work of program or report, adding, subtracting, manipulation, right? There are many different types of work, right? So this is one of the work, adding two numbers. So you have to add the two number and you have to display on the screen. So what you will do, you will add 20 plus 30, right? So by simply adding 20 plus 30, it will not give you the output, right? You have to add it up and you have to store somewhere, right? So for that purpose, you will require a variable. Okay, so maybe lv underscore sum, or maybe you can write the gv underscore sum, any variable. It all depends on you, or directly you can give the sum, any variable, or any variable abcd, whatever you want you can give. So this is your variable. Okay, but I'm just giving some meaningful name, sum, over here, so that you will be able to better correlate. Okay, so sum, I am going to store this 20 and 30 into this sum. System understands what is this 20 and 30, but system does not understand what is this sum, what is this value. Why? Because this can be anything, right? This particular variable, system does not understand what is its color, what is its height, what is its how many hands it is having, how many legs it is having, what is the type of, means did not understand about at all this variable, the system. So you must have to tell to the system about this particular variable. So to telling to the system, that what is this sum, see, if you can check, it will tell this sum is unknown, right? Field sum is unknown, right? So you have to tell to the system. So how you will tell to the system? So there is a keyword called data, with the help of which you can declare the variable. Okay, with the help of which you will tell to the system that what is the sum. Okay, so you will write sum, and you will tell to the system the sum is of type integer. Why I'm taking integer? The reason behind, I'm adding two integer value and I want to put into the integer. That's why I'm putting the integer. Okay, check the syntax now and you can see there is no syntax error. And now I want to display the output, right? So write sum. So I'm using the write, and because this variable I want to display, so just I'm using this variable over here. You don't have to put the variable inside the single quotes. If you put inside the single quotes, it will consider this as a string literal. Okay, whatever you will put in a single quote, it will simply display what it is there. So for example, I'm going to put this sum in a single quote, and if you run this one, you can see it is showing sum. What I want to display the value of this sum. So you don't have to give the single quote over here. Simply give without single quote. Then system will understand this is some variable and you want to display the value of this variable. Okay, again activate this one. You must have to activate every time, then only it will take place. So in SAP, most of the time, for the most of the object, you must have to activate. You must have to activate. Press F8 and this time you can see it is giving you 50, right? It is just adding this 30 and 20, it is adding and it is giving you the sum 50. Okay, so this is the basic concept, right? So here you can see that when I have to add the two number, I'm just using this I, type I, right? This is actually known as the data type. Okay, this I is known as the Abap data type. Okay, this data is to represent the data variable. Okay, and this type, whatever in blue it is coming, this all are the keyword through which SAP understands what we want to tell them. This is the Abap keyword. Okay, this is the Abap grammar, you can say. Abap keyword, using the keyword we are writing some certain sequence, so it is becoming grammar, so that system is able to understand what actually we are trying to do. Fine, just save it and we will activate once again. Now we will see what is the different types of data types. This is very very important, and once you understand the different types of data type, it will be easy for you, to write a program. It will be easy for you to do anything. Okay, so what I will do, I will first define the different type of data types, then we will go ahead and we will again write some more program and we will see how it's a work. Okay, so one interesting thing here in ABAP is that even if you define a character data type, right? Even if you're going to define the character data type also, what it will do, that it will add you and give you the result. So I will just activate this and I will show you. See, I have used the C. C stands for character data type. Okay, so press F8 and you can see this is also giving the result, right? If you use the string data type also, it also supports the arithmetic operation and this will also give you the result. Okay, this will also give you the result. So activate this one, it got activated and you can see this is also giving the result. So if we're using the packed data type, packed, this is packed data type, this will also give you the result. Okay, you can see here it is giving you. If we're going to use the numeric data type, okay, this will also give you the result, but here you can see it's giving 0 because I have not specified the length. That's why. Activate this one and press F8, you can see the 50 it is giving. So most of the data type, if you can you mute from your side, or if you have any question, Shikant? Okay, fine. So most of the data type, the most of the data type supports in ABAP the arithmetic operation. Most of the data type, or almost all data types supports the arithmetic operation. Okay, almost all data type. We will see. If you find any data type which does not supports the arithmetic operation, just let me know. As per my current understanding, I have seen that almost whatever I have been using, or yeah, of course, like the date data type, time data type, it is not going to support the arithmetic operation. Okay, these are the exception, but almost, like leaving all these apart, it will arithmetic operation means plus, minus, multiplication, division, all such kind of operation. So let's go ahead and see the different types of data type. Okay, so here in ABAP data types, so in ABAP we are having, there are mainly two types of data type. Okay, one is called elementary data type, uh, elementary data types, and another is called the user defined data type. User defined data type. User defined data type. So see, this elementary data type is nothing but it's already given by the SAP. Okay, so this is also known as predefined data type, already given by the SAP for the ABAP program, right? So predefined data type also, or inbuilt data type also, you can tell. Okay, predefined data type or inbuilt data type. Okay, this all depends on you what name you want to give. Okay, so first we will see in detail what is the meaning of this user defined. Okay, what is the meaning of this user defined data type? What's the meaning of this user defined data type? And then I will show you. Okay, fine. So user defined data type is nothing but, using this elementary data type, you are going to create your own data type. Okay, using elementary data type, you are going to create your own data type. So that's the meaning of user defined data type. Now we will see what are the different types of elementary data type or user defined data type. Okay, so in elementary data type also you are having two types of data type. Okay, one is, you know one is numeric data type and another is non-numeric data type. Okay, one is numeric data type, numeric data type, numeric data type, and another you are having the non-numeric data type. So you are having the another is non-numeric data type. So you can simply add it non-numeric over here. So two types of data type you are having. Now we will see in numeric data type what else come. So just you remember C, uh, under this non-numeric data type, just you remember CNDT. Just you remember like this. I remember like this, CNDT. Okay, CNDT. You have to remember like this. So C stands for character. Okay, character data type comes under the non-numeric data type. Character data types comes under the non-numeric data type. And then this C stands for character. So let me simply write the character, and N stands for numeric. Okay, N stands for numeric. So you can just write it that it's numeric. Okay, and D stands for date data type. Okay, D stands for the date data type, the date, and the T stands for the time data type. T stands for the time data type. So these are the different non-numeric data type. There is one more. There is one more. I will just tell you. That is called a string S. This will also fall under the non-numeric data type, a string data type. Okay. So this is, and the numeric data type you are having, the float data type comes under the non-numeric data type. Float F, you can tell, and then you can tell I will also come under the integer, then pack, then if I p, and then x will also come under the integer data type. X stands for hexadecimal. Okay, so these are the data type which will come under the numeric data type, if I p and x. I will describe all these things in a detail. Okay, come over here. I will open one new slides, and here we will see the numeric data type in detail. So I will give here, or I will create one table over here. So numeric data type, and I will insert one table with some fields, and then I will give the description over there. Maybe some 5 fields should be sufficient, I think. Okay, if it requires more, I will get. So here I will give the type for the numeric data type, and here I will give you the description, and here I will give you the value, like what can be its initial value. This value is nothing but your initial value. This value is nothing but initial value. I will let you know what is the meaning of this initial value. Okay, and then the minimum or maximum length, and here I will give some justified, means whether it is left justified or right justified. So I will tell this one also what is the meaning of left justified or right justified. Okay, come over here, this justification I will tell you. Here you can see I'm just going to define some, this this as a first one as a I will define. 2 is not required for I. Okay, and for the second one I'm just going to give the character. Okay, so I will give some 1 over here and some 1. Okay, fine. So I want to display the sum and sum 1, both the variable I want to display. So I have declared 2 variable, one is sum, another is sum 1. In sum I'm adding 20 plus 13, sum 1 also I'm adding the same. Sum is of type I, sum 1 is of type C. I means integer, right? I means integer, and C means character, right? C means character. Okay, just check the syntax, it's fine. Just save it and activate it. It got activated. Now you will see, first in the first line I will display this, right, and here I will give like this. So the integer first I'm displaying, and then I'm in the new line, for the new line I'm just giving this slash, so that in the new line the sum 1, the second sum 1, means this sum 1 will be displayed. Okay, so one is, first is the integer data type, another is the character data type. So first one is the integer data type. You can see this is the right justified. Right justified means from right it is start writing. And the second one is the character data type. It is left justified. That means it is a start filling from left. Okay, it is a start filling from left. Hope you understood this left or right justified. Okay, so in Excel also you might have seen, right? Sometimes if you give some value over here, right? So suppose for example, here if we are going to give some integer value, maybe you can take some integer or number value, okay, here. And if you write, you can see that from left it is starting writing, right? And but if you are just going to take some character, okay, here also some text value and just writing, here also from left it is coming, but some value, for example maybe I think currency or integer, you will see it will start writing from right. Okay, that's the meaning of. So if something is going to get started writing from right, that means it is going to become, you know, that means it is going to become your right justified. Okay, that means it's going to become your right justified. Okay, so maybe I will show you some integer value here. If you see, get some more number format, date accountancy number. Yeah, number, yes. And here for number also it is coming. Yeah, though it's started writing from left, but you can see it's getting automatically shifted to the right. Correct, you can see automatically shifting to the right over here. That means it is right justified. But if you write some text over here, if you just write some text over here, just select some text, so 1 2, and you can see it is at left only, right? It is not going to the right. So this is left justified and this is right justified. So character is generally left justified and integer is generally right justified. So the same holds good for the Abap data type also. So here I'm just going to give some numeric data type first, right? So I stands for integer data type. So just give description is nothing but integer you can give, and the initial value, what is the initial value of any integer? Okay, so for any integer the initial value will be 0. So what is the meaning of initial value? So initial value means if you don't give any value. Okay, so for example, if you simply, you know, don't give anything, don't add this 20 30 20 30, simply if you try to write this sum and sum one, what it will do, it will display the initial value. You can see 0 is displaying for what? For integer data type, because for the character data type, for the second data type, the initial value is a space. Okay, initial value is a space. So for the first sum, it is showing you like that 0, right? So this is how you can do, you can understand what is the meaning of initial value. So integer data type initial value is 0. Minimum, what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value? Okay, so when I tell what is the minimum value, so let me better, I will write that a length, then you will be able to understand the minimum and maximum. Okay, so length means how much length it can have. Okay, how much length it can have. So integer length can have up to 8 bytes. 8 bytes. So again it depends upon the version to version, which NetWeaver version you are using. Okay, so 8 bytes, that means how many bits? Can you tell me? 8 bytes means 8 into 8 bits, right? That means 64 bits. So how much maximum value it can hold? So it can hold, the maximum value means 2 to the power, right? 2 to the power 64. So whatever the value of 2 to the power 64 will come, that much value it can hold maximum, right? That much value it can hold maximum, because one bit represent either 0 or 1, right? So you must be knowing, like, so everything will be represented in form of 0 1 1, right? So that means, and one digit stores one digit takes to one digit stores in a one bit. Okay, this 0 stores in a one bit, 1 stores in a one bit, right? So similarly here you are having 8 bytes, that means you are having 64 bits. So at 64 places you can write 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 whatever, right? So the possible combination and the maximum value you are going to have what, 1 1 1 1 1 up to 64 times 1, right? Up to 64 times 1, up to 64 times 1 you can have the maximum value, right? And that means 2 to the power. So if you are from, right, computer background or mathematics background, it's easy for you to identify the maximum value, the place value, right? The value of this particular, this is the decimal value it is going to have. And the least justified, just I have shown you, this is the right justified, right? Right justified. Okay, so simply you can write also the right. Let me expand a little bit more so it will not take more space, and here I will do like this. Okay, good. Now it is coming nice. So type is I. Another is this is the I data type. Then can you tell me float, right? Float will also come, float data type. This will also come under the numeric data type. Okay, this will also come under the numeric data type. So then another and the initial value for the floating value will be what, this will be something like 0 0.0. Okay, you can check over there. And similarly you can check, right? Simply you can give the type F over here and just you can print it for the first sum. Okay, or maybe you can disable the second one, and here this also the second one you can disable. And disable means comment, disable means comment, you can put the star in beginning. Okay, you can put the star in beginning, that means the code will be commented. Okay, you can put the star or just select it and press control, and in your keyboard you will be having the comma option. Okay, control and comma, just you select, you will get this, you will get this particular comment automatically for the selected fields, and it will get commented. That means these are the dead code, it is not having any impact. Okay, only the impact, this and this is having the impact, this one and this one is having the impact. Just activate this one, run this, and you can see this is how the initially it is coming. So maybe you can copy this value, this is the correct value. If you don't give any value, it will take that value. Okay, so this is, that is the correct value. Simply 0 0.0 is not, this is the correct value what it is going to come as the initial value. So this is how you can test. So just for your knowledge I'm telling this, it will not be asked in any interview or something like that, but as an abapper your concept should be clear. Whatever the important thing will be there from interview point of view, I will let you know. So just for understanding purpose, please understand these things. As a good programmer, as a good abapper, it's going to play an important role. Okay, so float data type, the length, what will be the maximum length? Okay, so this I will check and let you know, I'm not sure. And here the justification, this is also, I think, the right justified. Okay, just you can check once, this is also right justified. Then if, and another, maybe you can take the pack data type, very frequently used data type. This float you are going to use very rarely, this float data type you are going to use very rarely. Okay, very rarely you are going to use, but the I and P you are going to use very frequently. Okay, so maybe I can give something like this, or let me take some another color. Okay, I'm giving in a red, the reason behind, very less I'm going to use, or in your real time You can use sometime, but very less, out of 100, 1 or 2 times. But this I and P very frequently is going to be used. Okay, so this is known as the packed data type. This packed data type. So packed data type. So for example, for this will be what? For this data type, you know, for example, suppose if you have to represent 2.67, okay, 2.98, some decimal representation if you have to do, you can use this packed data type. Okay, float will come in this format, which will be, very difficult to understand. This is the scientific format, right? This E stands for exponential to the power 00. Okay, so uh, here, the integer data type, integer you already know, that is nothing but, integer is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and integer, the minus sign also will come, -5, right, -10. So these are your integer. Okay, -15, 16. So integer can be like this. Float will come like this. Okay, and the packed, if you have to represent the data of this format, you can use the packed data type. The initial value for the packed data type also will be 0. You can also, find out from here how it's going to be. Activate this one and just activate once, and you can see the 0 is coming, right? So the initial value is going to be 0, and again this is also right justified, just you have seen, right? So you can yourself identify like this way. And the how much byte it will take generally, the length actually, the actually two 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 value will be stored in a single byte. Okay, so that's the meaning of actually the packed, because it is a packed, it is going to be it takes less storage. Okay, it takes the least storage. This packed data type takes the less storage space. So now here, the length, the maximum length can be, minimum it can be 1, and the maximum length it can be 65535, 65535. So why this is the maximum length? Okay, this can be more also. Yes, this can be more also, depends on the version, depends on the operating system, depends on the system. This can be maximum, but typically it will be like this. Okay, so this much length, like 65,535 maximum length you can use for the pack data type. Okay, now IFP, and then after what we are having, some another integer data type, X, hexadecimal. X stands for the hexadecimal. Okay, X stands for the hexadecimal. So you must be knowing about the hexadecimal representation. Hexadecimal representation, so it will get stored in the byte format. Okay, so hexadecimal representation, the initial value, it will be something like in form of 00 it will come. So this also you can just verify like this. You can just give the X over here, just activate it and just run it. You can see the 00 is coming, right? And if you want to see the how the hexadecimal represents, right? So ABC also it will come up to E, right, in hexadecimal. So you can simply enable this one, and here what you can do, suppose you have to add, suppose 1000 plus 90 you want to add, right? You want to add 90, just activate this and just press F8. You can see the 42 is coming. The 42 is nothing but over here, this is the hexadecimal representation of this 1090. Okay, so maybe 999 also you can see. I just want to show you some value also, will see in 15 or A, B or C kind of format. Okay, so A stands for 10, B stands for 11, like that, C stands for 13, like that you will get the value. Okay, so you can get some example of that. So simply it's a simple example. Let me show you. So suppose if we are going to represent the 10, just it will simply show you A. Okay, you can see the 08 is showing, right? 10 means 11 means B, right? That's the hexadecimal representation, right? 0B. So till 15 you can give the value, right? Till 15 you can give the value 0F. So like that you can. 16, it means 16 is not represented in hexadecimal. Like if you give the 16 over here, how it will represent? It will simply represent like this. So I will show you, press F8, and you can see the 10 it is representing. 16 is 10 in hexadecimal representation. So this is the hexadecimal. Okay, so the length of the hexadecimal is the 6 characters. Okay, so now we will stop it here itself, and tomorrow we will quickly complete this. The basic I have, the basic foundation, I have built up for you, and tomorrow quickly, or maybe today itself, I will just going to write here. This is also, I think this is left or right justified, I'm not sure. Maybe I need to check whether it is a left or right justified. Okay, so for this, mm, type X, maybe I can give the 10 over here, check, and then we will be able to find. You can see automatically 0 is coming over here, 0 0 0 0. So from right it is coming, right? From right the remaining space is going to be filled up with so suppose if we're going to give the suppose the length you are going to mark some 80, just I'm giving, I'm doing some experiment. Okay, and you can see for 80 characters got appended. So if we're going to use the hexadecimal, it will it will hold the complete space. That means it will be automatically padded. That means it will be automatically padded. So here there is no question of right justified on the or the left justified, right? So maybe you can ignore this one. So because everything it is padded, you can see it's padded with the 0. So you cannot say what is this actually, which is left or right. Okay, fine. And quickly today itself let's complete. Sorry, it's going to be a little long session. uh, if someone is having some work, you can just leave it and you can go. Okay, just to go through the remaining video, I will just share you. Okay, here non-numeric data types, non-numeric data types, non-numeric data types. And here the non-numeric data types, C and DT. C stands for character, N stands for numeric, right? D stands for date, and T stands for time, and a string stands for string. A string stands for string, a string data type. So character is nothing but, right? Character, A, B, C, D, these are character, right? So for example, let me show you character data type. And for example, if you have to store something like, if you have to give Ram, okay, if you have to store, Shyam, okay, so such kind of information you can store. Or maybe if you have to store A, if you have to store B, then such kind of data type you can use. This is the numeric data type. So this is the numeric data type. Okay, so this is the numeric data type. Numeric means this is actually known as character numeric. This is character numeric. What is the meaning of character numeric? Okay, you might be thinking that I'm telling non-numeric data type and here I am writing character numeric. So this n comes under the character numeric, that's why it is non-numeric. Numeric means 1 2 3 4, non-numeric means A B C D, something like that, right? So in character numeric data type, the numeric data type will be presented in the character format. Okay, for example, you can see here I'm just going to give the n over here, the numeric data type. Okay, and it's of 80 characters, right? And if you are just going to display this, just let me show you little less, just 20 will be sufficient. And 16 I want to represent in this numeric data type, right? Just activate this one and just run this. You can see automatically 0 0 0 0 0 0 is coming over here, right? This is not the hexadecimal, right? For hexadecimal also you have seen the same thing. This is the numeric data type. Whatever you will write, for 10 it will show you 10 only, it will not show you a will show in case of if you are going to use x over here, hexadecimal, right? It is showing you 10 only, right? So it is going to show this particular data in the character format. Okay, so though it will be numeric, but it will be represented in the character format, represented in the character format, and extra space will be padded by the 0, right? Character format. So this is the things over here, you can write it. And the justified, this is the left justified. Okay, character will be the first one, will be the left justified. This will be fine. D, the date data type, right? There is no justification required over here, right? Because it is of only of 8 length. So date data type, date date data type. So for example, all the SAP data gets stored in this format. Okay, year, and DD. This is the by default format. Okay, so suppose if you have to store some date for today's date or whatever, you will have to use the date data type. Initial value will be the 80, initial value 448. Okay, for the numeric, the initial value will be what? For the numeric, the initial value, I think it will be 0 only. You can just check it up. 0 it should be. Date and the time, it will be 6 times 0. Okay, that means for the time, this is for the time. Okay, T stands for time, and for the time, like it will come 7 o'clock, 54 minutes, for example 30 seconds. Okay, 7 o'clock, 7 hour 54 minutes 30 seconds, it will be represented in this format. Okay, if you don't give anything, the initial value will be this, and the 6 characters, that's fine. And here the length, you can see for the date data type, what will be the maximum? It will be 8, right? Nothing more than that. The date data type 4 for 8 data type. So 8 characters you can write for the date data type, right? 8 characters maybe you can write. And here no justification, not applicable, right? Because it's going to, allocate only 8 characters, 8 bits. So these are some, brief idea about the data type. Tomorrow we will see the user defined data type, very, very important. And that is going to be the heart of your SAP ABAP course. Okay, user defined data type. If you understand the work area and internal table, user defined data type, then your half of the journey is going to be, completed. So tomorrow is going to be a very, very important class. User defined data type is the work area, and we will understand what is the different way of defining the work area. Okay, and what is the different way of defining the internal table. Okay, so this is actually work area and internal table is nothing but your variable, but this variable gets defined with the user defined data type. Okay, this variable gets defined with the user defined data types. So this is the variable dot, understand this is a data type, but this variable will be defined with the help of user defined data type. So first we will define a user defined data type. Okay, and then with the reference of this variable, with the reference of this type, we will declare this variable. This is variable. Okay, what is this variable? What is this data object? The variable is also known as the data object. Okay, variable is also known as the data object. Okay, type is also known as the type object. Okay, this type is also known as type object. Okay, so based upon this, based upon this work area, based upon the type, we are going to define the work area in internal table. What is the different way of defining the work area? What is the different way of defining the